أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. First of all, I would like to present my heartiest congratulations and appreciation to Dr. Mamdou Salama on the publication of his book, and which is available online also. Let us all congratulate him and also pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah give him barakat for his work and his efforts, not only in these lectures, but in this book and other writings also, and all other contributions which he is making. Atahiyyatu lillahi wa salatu wa tayyibat. On the basis of that, he is making a lot of contribution in all these fields. Allah accept this. After this, I will submit that today I would like to complete the discussion on the philosophy of legacy, and then come back to the remaining couple of technical or practical points of writing a will. We had started the discussion with will, and then during the discussion, we had come to discuss the philosophy of legacy. You have seen that I always try to discuss these aspects of any subject which we are discussing, because since at least 1,000 years, we are suffering that we have closed the doors to mathematics and philosophy. That is why I made a very humble and small effort that people give some attention to these fields also. This is just a matter of also that anybody can have his own opinion. After this, whether we complete it today or tomorrow, next week, I propose to take up two other subjects. Then we'll come back to Alpha Surah Al Fatiha. Those two subjects are also like series. One is the philosophy of Muharram. I last time delivered a lecture at Pakistan Association of Greater Houston in Houston on Muharram 10th Muharram. The subject of Muharram I would like to discuss with reference to war, peace, and most important today, ceasefire. War, peace, and ceasefire. What is the philosophy behind it? So I'll discuss Muharram, and then I have also another subject after which these are both are related. Maqam Ibrahim, Awal Bait, Linnas, Lil Alameen. So I would like to discuss with reference to Maqam Ibrahim the historical development, not only of the philosophy, but practically the development of law and international politics on the issues of asylum and sanctuary. Asylum and sanctuary with reference to Maqam Ibrahim in the Quran. So these two subjects I propose to take up after we finish this subject of legacy and the will and the testament. So last time we had reached, I'm not starting recapitulating as I do usually, but I'm starting from this point where we had left the discussion. Legacy means more. It is more important for my children. It means more to the children than to myself or to the adults. This we have to understand. It is our responsibility. It is not just a religious prescription, but it is a moral responsibility. Being human carries a responsibility to leave a legacy. We have been discussing this. So far as children are concerned, it is more important to the children than to myself. World isn't only connected by molecules. It's not only physics. It is not only chemistry. Quran does not discuss physics and chemistry separately. Botany and zoology are separate subjects. All these subjects of natural sciences are discussed along with the social sciences. We find a statement on natural science, and then it immediately leads to the social science. For example, the story of Saleh. the story of Nakatan, the camel, the environment, water distribution, and then it comes to the social matters. So it's not only physics and chemistry, world in social realm. Social realm starts with Adam. When insan was upgraded as a social animal, Adam means a social entity, social person, human being, insan who can live together. That is Adam, that is Bani Adam, who can live together. And from there, the sociology starts, human sociology starts. World in social realm is connected by ideas. That is why Allama al-Adam asma kullaha. If there was no need of any idea, there was no need of any ilm. The difference between animals and Adam is, and Bani Adam is, that they can generate, not only generate, but regenerate also the knowledge. This is the because of the features which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to Adam during the process of Sawaituhu. World and social realm is connected by ideas, traditions. Traditions have history. Traditions have memory. Traditions are based on tarka. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I made the practice of Ibrahim alayhi salam, the practice of sacrifice, I made it tarka for the coming generations. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, adopted it as his sunnah. And he says it is our sunnah. Memories, hopes, and ideals. These all together, they contribute to the legacy. We are connected by legacies passed down. I am connected to my father. My father is connected to my grandfather. And similarly, in the matrilineal line, we are connected with mother and grandmother, and so on and so on, so on and on. We are connected because in genetic terms, this memory is passed on. This legacy is passed on. That is why Quran also tells that I am thankful to God for all the ni'mat which He has given to me and to walidayya, my walidain, who have passed on this to me, these features, the modules which they have passed on to me. From those who came before us, and legacies we pass down, not only in physical terms or in other terms, but in genetically also, to those who come after us. For children, and I've said already that it is our responsibility. For children, legacy means learning from past. Adam alayhi salam was given the packages of learning, a small packages of information. And that information was not only for the future, but it was from the Big Bang also, how the universe was created, how the star was created. If we talk about a star, if, for example, if he was shown the star, he was shown the solar system, he must have been given to understand how the solar system came to be formed. So it is from the past. It separates, this is very important, that's why I've colored it differently. It separates timeless from the transient. My life is transient. I can contribute, as I already discussed. It's not only the particular moment of today that I'm contributing. It's not only the critical moment of death at the time when I have to make a wasiyah. Every moment is critical. And every moment in my life, in our lives, it has, according to some sociologists, at least 200 years past and 200 years ahead. It's a cycle of about 400 to 500 years. And we find in history that there is a cycle of about 500 years. Ibrahim to Moses, Moses to David, to Solomon, and we come down to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and we break this historical process into segments. The first 500 years, for example, of Islam, and then the next 500 years, and the next 500 years. It's a cycle. It's timeless and the transient. Legacy connects the timeless and the transient. We are suffering, Muslims are suffering, we are suffering from the disconnect since last at least 1,000 years, that our legacy is not only myself, that I have not been able to compete and fill that gap and create a legacy for the future. But during the last 1,000 years also, my forefathers, they also did not contribute that much legacy which was required to match or to compete, to resist the colonial onslaught. The transient and the timeless. Children should have feeling of continuity and security that assures them that there are adults who care about them. Why children are drowning or are sinking, their ships are sinking, they are drowning in the seas while escaping their countries, going to other continents or going to other countries in search of a job, in search of food, in search of a respectable life or a secure life. They don't feel safe. Who is to blame? We are to blame. We have failed. Let us agree. Let us understand that we have failed. That is why they are drowning. These are our sons, our daughters, our families. Their future is not secure. That is the problem. For adults, legacy means extending into future. How much I have extended my present, or pulling the thread from the past, how much I have extended it, how much I have pulled the wick of the candle up, that it should keep burning into future. Into future. It's not the present that I had fun, I had a comfortable life, I enjoyed it, I had luxury. I came to a dream world. But what I have left for the future, that is legacy. It means developing and passing on timeless part of oneself. I am failing in passing on the timeless part of myself. Even on the deathbed, Luqman tried to pass on the timeless part of his ideas, the timeless part of his soul, the timeless part of his existence. Timeless part, that is timeless part. Otherwise, I am mortal, I'll die, my body will decay. It will be corroded by the earth. What will remain? Like Socrates, his idea remained. When he was punished for his ideas of Vahdaniyat, one God, and he was made to drink poison, take poison. He was given the punishment of dying by poison. His friend, Plato writes, and that character, Crito, he goes to meet Socrates in the prison, and he advises him to run away. He wanted to help him to go into exile, but Socrates refused. There's a long dialogue. The name of the book is Crito. And in that, Socrates says that I can run away, I can save my mortal body for the time, which is transient. But the timeless part of my existence, that will vanish, that will be defeated. History will defeat me. My ideas will die. So I'm ready to take the death by poison. I will not run away. So that people know that why I have been killed. We want to feel valued and useful no matter how old we get. Make our priorities even at the last date. Why do we write wasiyat? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking that write your wasiyat when Hazar al Maut, the death is in attendance. At that time, Allah is giving an opportunity. As long as we are able to think, we have an idea, we can think, we can have an idea, write it down, dictate it, prioritize it, what thing will go to whom, why it will go to somebody. Is somebody whom I'm paying a scholarship? Is there somebody in the college whom I'm providing books? Is there somebody whom I'm providing nourishment? Is there somebody in the hospital I'm providing medicines? Prioritize it. Leave something. It's not only leaving something there in that ayat only, in ayat of wasiyat, but otherwise we have discussed already. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prioritized, made it easy for us to walk on the dotted line, on the plan. Wal walidain, wal akraba, and then there's a long list. And in another ayat, even kurba are included, who appear on the Hazar al-Kismat, on the distribution chart, Hazar al-Kismat. Those, they appear there. Otherwise, they are not the sharers. And they are not the sharers of inheritance. But the kurba, who have been eliminated by the nearest, but they are in the Hazar al-Kismat, in the distribution chart, they should also be given. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being so kind that whatever you have earned in your life, I am giving you the authority. You enjoy it. You distribute it yourself. And be happy, feel happy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to me. And before death, I am distributing it myself instead of somebody coming after my death and distributing his in his own way. Besides prescribing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving an opportunity to use this opportunity for your own salvation, for your own maghfirat. What you have left here and what you are taking there. What you are taking and what you are leaving. And make life choices based on them. Life choice. As long as till the last breath, it is your life. And life has a choice. Human being has a choice. And the choice has accountability. Choice is not an ordinary feature which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to a living being. Just imagine any human being who has no choice. He can't differentiate. He can't have furqan. He can't choose between two things. What is the life then? When you are eating, you can't have a choice, make a choice. The entire table is laid before you. The dinner table is laid before you, but you have no choice. You don't know, you don't understand whether you want to pick up chicken or you want to pick up rice or you want to pick up something else. Small thing I'm mentioning. Choice is a great, great ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is from here, the accountability stops. The responsibility takes its roots. And the choice is with life. It is with cognition. It is with taqwa. It is with understanding. There are so many modules which are there to support the choice. If you withdraw any one module from this entire realm which is supporting the choice, one loses. We can't purchase it with billions of dollars from any hospital. We evaluate our accomplishments, we ourselves, or we collectively, we evaluate our accomplishments and disappointments also, my failures. Personally, I have seen God in my failures, in my accomplishments, not mine, given by God. One has to evaluate. Evaluation. If you don't evaluate, then we will not be able to make any correction. We can't excel without evaluation. We can create personal meaning and purpose. We have discussed that. There is a general meaning to things, but I want to add a meaning, my personal meaning to food. I want to make a personal meaning to the dollar bill. I want to create a purpose for the dollar bill which I have. Personal meaning and purpose. At this point, I have one suggestion which will appear here following this, what I have discussed, in the purple and in the red. This is just a proposal if we can today ponder upon it. Our small steps multiply in consequence and significance. If I take one step, but if we all together take 20 steps together or 1,000 steps together, it has more consequence. It has more significance. So what I'm proposing is, in this matter of legacy, at least to the MRC, at least to Mariam Masjid, at least to ISDH, for example. Can we think of collective endeavors? Can we think of collective endeavors? For example, collectively, we make a list that we as a group want to create a legacy. Personal legacy will that we have been doing, our forefathers have been doing, but now can we continue, can we collectively contribute to this concept of legacy which we have discussed? West has done this. Collectively, they decided that now you choose between this list, whether before death you would like to contribute to Harman Memorial or some other memorial or to some other project, other university or some hospital or whatever you want to contribute. It's a collective. The collective guidance. Then people are contributing individually as their legacies. Can we think of collective endeavors in which we come together to prioritize, to list, to prepare a list just for guidance? It's not binding, there's no law about it. To prioritize and contribute to common cause as a legacy. Common cause as legacy. What could be the common cause of the Muslim community or human community? Any community, irrespective of any religion, any community in Houston or anywhere. What is khair, khairan kasira? What is greater good? Can we consider greater good, which is based on common cause, common good? And then we issue a guideline that these are things which you have prioritized, where we appeal that out of whatever you want to give as a legacy, it's up to you. But out of that, or all of that, whatever you think is appropriate, make a bit of contribution, a little bit of contribution to this priority. For example, we 5 persons come together that we dedicate today that when I die, so much of the money from my property will go to this cause, and we are creating our trust or anything, whatever you like, with the ISDH, with Mariam Masjid, or anywhere, with MRC, with Dr. Mamdou Salama, or with anybody whom you can choose, that he will look after it as a wakil, as wali. But this is just a suggestion. A common cause as legacy, legacy as a common cause. And we understand, I think I may not emphasize it more, as I've already given it the emphasis in color and in different colors and otherwise. We understand that world we leave behind us is the world worth for our children. Now, if I ask myself, the country I'm leaving, the community I'm leaving, the legacy I'm leaving, is it worth my children? You ask yourself, what my grandfather left for me, my father left for me, and am I able to leave the same thing as safe, as secure, as pure for my children? And children's children, what they will inherit in due course. We have obligation to try to make future better than the past. At least on these criteria, I am not satisfied. For both youth and old, for young and old, power of legacy. Now a new point is emerging. All what you have discussed ultimately to the end, it is leading that legacy is a power. Legacy is a very important power. It's not just sawab. It is not just for the sake of sawab. It's a power that drives us to live fully in present. Every moment I should spend, invest meaningfully, beneficial. Family as foundational block is integral part of larger community. Be careful about LGBT in this concept here. That must remember its history to build its future. Without remembering history, we cannot build our future. Those people I had written in my note in the preface, which I had written on one of books of Cadet College, Arcana, that those who forget their history, geography abandons them. Today, geography has abandoned the Muslim world in their own homes, in their own streets, in their own neighborhoods, in their own cities and land. What is happening to Palestine? People are raising slogans, they are participating in, say, processions, but you ask them about the history, very few people will be able to tell you what has happened. If we don't know, if we don't remember history, the geography is going to pull out, throw away. Even the signposts which history had planted someone one day that this was the territory of Ottoman Empire. This was the road built by Sher Shah Suri. Geography will uproot it. If the history is fissured, cracked, there is fracture. If the history is fractured, we are not on one point. We are not on one page. We have 100 narrations, 1,000 narrations. There can be narrations. There can be differences of opinions, no problem. But we have fissures. We have deviance. We have sects. We have sects within religion. So our history is so much fissured that is based on it's inimical to each other. If the history is fissured, the geography gets fractured. We lost the seas. We lost the continents. We lost the lands divided into fragments. This is the lesson. But still, we don't remember history. We don't want to fill these gaps in the fractures. Wisdom is architect. Wisdom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to repair. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given wisdom to maintain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given wisdom to make it better, carry forward. Wisdom is architect, linking reflection with action. Without wisdom, we can't reflect. And without wisdom, we cannot connect the reflection with the action. Even if the neurotransmitter is released by the brain, if there is no action, if it doesn't move the hand, it's useless. Connection between the reflection and the action, proper collection, beneficial connection, nafi amal, saleh amal, falah, comes through hikmat, comes through wisdom. Are we leaving it? Why Luqman's story is being told us and it is called hikmat, wisdom. It is altruism. Altruism is the basis of humanity. It is in the animal world also, and other animals also. But this is the identity, more prominent identity of human beings, as manifestation of conscience. In Urdu, you call it zamir, conscience, taqwa, consciousness, conscientiousness, not just consciousness, but conscientiousness. Lasting legacy builds up from deeds during life, fit dunya, hasana. The way that impacts others, not only me, common good, khairan kasira. That's how people remember you. If we only take this one formula, or if we are able to create this common cause for as legacy, even, at least at MRC, people will remember you accordingly. People will not remember us that we used to meet at MRC, we used to lecture there, we used to take a breakfast, we used to offer ishraq. People will remember what we leave there for their benefit. People want to leave a legacy to ensure that their loved ones will be taken care of when they are gone and that they will always remember them with love. We can strive to exemplify positive traits in our personal lives and ensure that our actions have a positive effect on those around us. If we want to live in the posterity, if we want to live in our with the grandchildren, great grandchildren, great grandchildren, if we want to live in the posterity, Ibrahim wanted to live with posterity, my zuriyati. He wanted to live in the zuriyati, and he lives in the zuriyati still, forever. If you want to live in posterity, examine your roles and responsibilities today, now, at this moment. For living in the posterity, my role is important today. And these are the roles, some of the important roles which we can examine. But the point is, there's no time like the present. There's no life than different, no life than the present. Fit dunya is now for me. Act now, act now. If I can act now, it means I'm manifesting my life now. What a historical legacy. One sociologist says, past is never dead. Even 1,000 years, which we think that is our lost history. Past is never dead. It is not even past. The theory I had shown you, the cone of light, 200 years on either side. If you have more vision, you can extend it 500 years on 500 years on either side. It makes 1,000 years. The past is never dead. Even today, scientists are researching on the Big Bang, which is 15 crore years old. It is not dead. It is still there. They are getting glimpses. They are getting images. They are deciphering it. He says, in fact, referring to how history matters in the world of politics. The world of politics, the politics cannot happen without history. It's so important. And what is history? Usually we think it is past. And why we study history if it is past is dead? Past is not dead for us. It is live. Living in ever new configurations of nature and culture is changing every moment, every time, every second, fraction of a second. We must think and act de novo. Kulla yawmin huwa fi shan. Every moment de novo. A new splendor, a new majesty, a new today. Even to survive, this is the formula. If you want to survive, just if you don't want to make any progress, but even for just for survival, also this is necessary. This is important. Otherwise, we cannot survive. People will destroy us. They will throw us away from our own homes, as is happening in Gaza. For survival, it is necessary. But this is the minimum requirement. Survival is the minimum requirement. If we are not progressing, even the survival is the minimum requirement. Change is as inescapable as tradition. We cannot escape the tradition on one side, the past. Similarly, the change which is taking place today, to give it, and it's getting a momentum every moment into the future, we cannot escape it. If I want to escape it, it will still move onwards. I'll remain behind. I will exist, but I may not be able to survive. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This is very important statement in philosophy of history, politics, or anything, any science. The more things change, because change is eternal. Change is the only thing in the universe which is permanent. Change is permanent. So the more the things changes, the more the things will stay the same. If the thing does not change, it will not stay the same. If water does not go into recycling, if it does not change its state to go into vapor, if it exists, so I'm not going into vapor. If it doesn't go into the cloud, it doesn't travel, it doesn't change its position, it doesn't change its even the physical properties and become rain, water. It doesn't come down or it doesn't solidify as ice. One day the water will vanish. Water is there because water is all the time cooperating with change. Water is ready to change every moment. Marajal Bahrain, Yaltakian, Bainahuma, Barzakhun la Yabghiyan. That is the barzakh, the temperature, which is revolving, which is cycling water all the time so that it goes from one change to the other, from one state to the other. And the two seas of water, they remain separate. It's because of the temperature. Just imagine if the temperature on the entire planet, the temperature falls on one side, everything freezes. Again, water on this in the sea will freeze, and the water in the on the mountains will remain frozen. It means the two bodies of water will remain separate. If the temperature rises, everything melts. If the oceans become vapor, they will fly. But again, when they reach the height, Himalaya is more than 13 kilometers high, more than 40 degrees temperature minus. It will again start freezing. Even if the temperature goes beyond boiling water, again the two bodies of water will keep running, keep teasing each other. Marajal Bahrain, they will keep intertwining each other, whirling each other, mixing with each other. It will not be on the one side because the change will continue. And as long as the change continues, the cycle will continue. And as long as the cycle continues, two bodies will remain separate. The more they stay the same, the more they change. Paradoxical simultaneity of continuity and disconnectivity. There is taqdeer, there is qadr, there is ta'an, and at the same time there is karhan. There is constraint, at the same time there is non-constraint. There is determined, at the same time there is freedom. Within the given software, which is determined, there is all freedom within that software. Within the hudud are determined. Within these hudud, everything within is free. Freedom is freedom. There is freedom. All these things are balancing each other and they are kept together. In implicity acknowledged, is implicity acknowledged in these things, the implicity is acknowledged, but too little appreciated. In philosophy, we say this, Quran has said this, Toan, Wakaran, Quran says, Fakadara Fahada, and things like that, but we don't appreciate it in our lives. That means we don't put it in our lives. We don't accept them in our lives. We don't put them to practice. Especially among our social scientists, it's not appreciated. Our ulama, with folded hands, I submit that especially, I emphatically but very humbly submit that our ulama don't appreciate this point. They have made us slaves to the taqdeer. They have made us slaves to the taqleed. They are not allowing us to get out of it and work with freedom within those constraints. Ta'an wa karhan. Historical legacies are as important, are an important component of many explanations of contemporary outcomes in politics, in polities, countries. Palestine. Take the example. Attempting to democratize after a period of authoritarian rule, colonial rule. Why democracies are failing in these countries? Democracies are failing only in those countries which were in the past colonized. And during that long period of centuries of colonization, slavery, it was not only the physical slavery, it was not only the slavery of resources, it was the mental slavery. And we are not able to identify this and get rid of this. Democratic failure at the root of disaster of polity and community can be attributed to some legacy originating in prior authoritarian rule. Take the example of Egypt, take the example of Pakistan, take the example of any country where democracy is failing. You will find some incidents taking place in those lands during the periods of colonization. And those the incidents and events which have become part of the politics of the land, and they have formed the polity. They have gone, they have made the characteristic, they have the identity of the community. We don't identify them. We think as if this is part of our identity. This has become our characteristic. Individual characteristic becomes culture when it is adopted by the group. In civil law countries, Germany, Japan, France, legacy and legatee. I will stop here. Legacy and legatee, person receiving legacy, have somewhat different meanings than in Anglo-American law. When we discuss legacy, when we discuss inheritance, when we discuss legatee, when we discuss legacy, there is a very subtle point in differentiating it. When somebody who has come from the British colony, he has a different meaning in the mind. And the person who has come from the American colony, he has a different meaning in the mind. We don't even appreciate and distinguish between these subtleties. We'll take up later, inshallah, Allah willing. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzat amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك يا ربنا تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك. اللهم ادخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اخرجنا من ظلمات الجهل والوهم إلى نور العلم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك وبطاعتك عن معصيتك وبفضلك عمن سواك. اللهم بفضلك ورحمتك أعلي كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وعز المسلمين يا أكرم الأكرمين. Oh Allah, spread your mercy upon us. Shower us with your blessings. Increase our knowledge, grant us forgiveness, and reward us with the company of the prophets in the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, purify our hearts, strengthen our faith, increase our knowledge, and make us benefit from what you have taught us. Oh Allah, forgive our parents and all our friends and relatives who have passed away. Oh Allah, make their graves garden from heaven and grant them the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, we have many of our friends and relatives who are sick. Oh Allah, grant to all of them full and speedy recovery. Oh Allah, guide our children, protect them, and make them righteous. Oh Allah, grant us the power and the ability that we may be grateful for the favors you have bestowed upon us and our parent, and that we may do righteous deeds that are pleasing to you. Oh Allah, we seek from you all of the good, whether we know it or we don't. And we seek your refuge from all evil, whether we know it or we don't. Oh Allah, we seek refuge in you from incapacity, from laziness, from fear, from greed, from poverty, and from the torment of the grave. Oh Allah, we have many of our brethren who are living under oppression and injustice. Oh Allah, heal their trauma, protect their helpless, and grant them lasting peace and prosperities. O Allah, we ask with every name you have elected for yourself, that none of us leave this gathering, but his pains have been relieved, his worries have been removed, his debts have been paid, his weaknesses have been concealed, his sins have been forgiven, and his needs have been fulfilled. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.